blissful selves. Today, let us know in brief about the effects of intoxicants. So, the intoxicant alcohol, drinking of alcohol is very dangerous. And by drinking alcohol, the liver is diseased, and gradually the liver becomes small. So the function of liver is the food that we take inside the digestive system. So it would be transformed into blood. Later, the blood will be taken to the heart, and from the heart, the blood will be supplied to all the parts of the body. So this function of liver will be stopped as it is reduced in size and it is not functional. And lastly, the concerned person dies. Then chewing up the palm nut and tobacco. So this chewing up palm nut tobacco. So usually if we chew the palm nut tobacco, the food can be easily digested. So it is a wrong understanding that the chewing of palm nut tobacco digests the food. It doesn't digest. It is a wrong understanding. By practicing Paschimottanasana and Bhastrika, the food can be easily digested. And by this, the tongue becomes red. And there will be deposited a black layer on the teeth, and the colored saliva is secreted. So when we take the tobacco into the mouth, we feel to spit it out. And when we spit it out, we feel that we have to take it inside. Then let us know the effects of cannabis indica. Generally, people smoke the cannabis indica, and some others eat it. But this results into ebriety. That means the aberration of the mind. The concerned man becomes mad, who becomes slave to this habit. And the smoking and eating of cannabis indica causes gangrene. So by this, there is a direct effect on the brain. So the people smoking and eating it become very anxious and they quarrel with each other. So we have to give up the company of the smokers and the eaters of cannabis indica. So by smoking and eating cannabis indica, man becomes mad and does murders and other evil actions. So by gangrene, the muscles rotten, and only skeleton remains behind. So that is the effect of cannabis indica. Now the effect of cocaine. So cocaine is another intoxicant. So this is prepared by coca tree leaves. By coca tree leaves, the cocaine is prepared. It is a type of salt. So those who have become slave to this cocaine habit, they will have no sleep at all. And the body becomes very lean. And lastly, death results. So this cocaine is sold with betel leaves, with catechu and lime. So the teeth of cocaine chewers become very black, and there will be paralytic attack to the tongue and the throat. So these are the effects of cocaine, the other intoxicant. Now opium. So by opium, so there will be physical and mental atrophy. There is a degeneration of physical body and even the mental activity. So these are the effects of opium. And the other intoxicants concerned are the tobacco. So this tobacco ruins digestion. Many people think that the food will be easily digested, but the power of digestion is ruined. The heart activity is affected, and the whole nervous system has been affected by smoking and eating of tobacco. So this produces nicotine poison. So in tobacco, there are 700 chemicals. And all these 700 chemicals, they cause cancer, carcinogens. So these have been called as the carcinogens. Carcinogens means so those chemicals which cause cancer. And the main one is nicotine. And this nicotine produces nicotine poisoning. And not only that, tobacco amblyopia of the eye will be resulted. And there will be irritation in the heart. And the practice of snuff taking, is more horrible. So the youths who are addicted to smoking get a very poor physique and weak intellect. The tobacco smoking or eating blackens the teeth and gives a very bad smell to the mouth. So this results in a sleeplessness, headache, and unsteady hands. The hands would be in a position to tremble, and shaky legs. Legs will be shaky. So these are the effects of tobacco on the nervous system. And by this, the heartbeat becomes irregular. The heartbeat will not be regular, lapped up, lapped up, lapped up, like that. And the smokers are often pale and unhealthy. They are like this on account of poor quality of blood. The tobacco smokers get severe pain in the heart and they cannot see well. There is very poor vision and there is a breathlessness even in climbing the stairs. So those who have become to the tobacco smoking and eating, so there will be the accumulation of thick phlegm in the throat. So the smoker of tobacco loses his appetite. He cannot digest the food properly. The tongue is dry and pale. The vision becomes dim, and there is every possibility of losing the sight entirely due to the disease of the optic nerve. So these are some of the effects of tobacco smoking and tobacco eating. So these are very dangerous. The evils are intensified when smoking is indulged in the company of other smokers in a crowded, ill ventilated room. So if there will be crowd and there are many smokers and the concerned hall or the room is not ill ventilated, then there will be very severe effects of tobacco smoking and tobacco eating. So many think that there is an understanding that the smoking helps digestion. It is a great illusion. So don't remain in the company of the smokers. You give up the company of the smokers. So these are the effects of tobacco smoking and tobacco eating. And the other intoxicant is tea. In a tea powder, there is a tannin, a chemical substance which has been called as tannin. So by taking tea, our body becomes poisonous by tannin. Taking 1 cup of tea means taking 1 cup of bile. So by drinking tea, the appetite is reduced. And strong tea drinking in excessive quantity produces tannin poisoning. Then the tea drinking results in the increase of bile and the chest starts burning. So and the other one is coffee. And this coffee powder contains caffeine. So this caffeine makes our body poisonous. So by drinking alcohol, there are many latent impressions of the sensory objects. And when we drink the alcohol in excessive quantity, the latent sensory impressions are jumped up and you will be in a position to do maximum sinful actions. So he talks whatever he likes and does sinful actions whatever he likes. And this results in the birth of lower life. And when they talk, or do, the power of reasoning is completely lost. The excessive drinking of alcohol causes madness. man becomes mad. When they become mad, they may die by drinking poison, or may they die by hanging. So these are some of the effects of the intoxicants. And by making or by taking the intoxicants, the happiness that has been enjoyed is momentary, and it causes uh, that is, it is unhealthy. So the taking of the intoxicants, the happiness that we enjoy is momentary, temporary, for a temporary period. But the body will be caused unhealthy. The body becomes unhealthy. And many times, the persons who have become slaves to these intoxicants, they lose their life. And by this, I end my talk.